Good Wednesday morning to everyone. This is GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey, and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the in-depth forecast analysis video discussion for Wednesday, July 25th, 2012. Beautiful beach cam this morning over Belmar, New Jersey, where the sun is rising and the swells are light. It's going to be a beautiful day today with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. A light northerly flow becoming southerly towards evening, and water temperatures are in the low to the middle 70s throughout the region. Absolutely clear skies across the forecast region this morning. It's a pleasant day already. 71 degrees as the sun is coming up in New York City, 70 in Philadelphia, and we've got temperatures in the mid-60s here in Delaware and along the immediate coast. Interior sections of northern New Jersey are experiencing temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s this morning, and we have some watches, warnings, and advisories for you. These are just small craft advisories for northerly winds on the south-facing shores of Long Island Sound and up to and off Block Island and Connecticut, and also over Rhode Island and the Cape of Massachusetts today. And they'll be diminishing during this afternoon, but they'll be a little choppy this morning with some rough seas on the south shore facing beaches of Long Island during this morning. And these small craft advisories extend down along the Jersey coast until 11 o'clock, and the wave heights and swells will already begin to decrease. And we just saw that this morning, just a second ago, off Belmar. We'll begin with the water vapor imagery loop across the eastern United States, and we can see all the reds and blacks. This is sinking air in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere as high pressure over the Great Lakes builds over the forecast region today and tonight and then moves offshore. The winds out of the north at the surface and also in the mid and upper levels out of the north and northwest will mean a beautiful day today. Some high cirrus clouds perhaps at times, but other than that, full sunshine, high UV index, ultraviolet index, and temperatures running in the mid to the low to the mid 80s, even at the beaches with a light northerly flow. Winds decreasing. Beautiful day to be outside today, but do be mindful the sun is going to be very strong and you can get burned under 15 minutes without some kind of protection on your skin. Now we're noticing a flare-up of these thunderstorm clusters here across the upper Midwest in Minnesota, and getting into portions of the Great Lakes. This area of low pressure and this warm frontal boundary will be moving in our direction later tonight, and this is going to mean that all the lifting mechanisms associated with it, isentropic lift and omega, all of that will be moving into the forecast region from after midnight tonight through tomorrow morning. And this is going to spell a volatile period in weather from around tomorrow morning right through Saturday night. And this sounding this morning coming out of the satellite sounding from the GOES satellite sounding over New York City shows the very dry air across the region. Notice these are the temperatures in the red line here, and they're already approaching 20 degrees Celsius at the lowest levels near the ground this morning. And notice the dew point departures here. Very, very, very dry air. And as we go up into the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere, the air is ultra dry. So we're expecting mostly sunny skies today. This is negative Cape here. So we're not expecting any thunderstorms, any rainfall, or anything other than sunshine and very pleasant conditions. Notice how the winds here are out of the northeast, and they're kind of choppy this morning, up to about 1,000 millibars. And they begin to sink off a little bit and become out of the northwest, and then the winds increase out of the northwest at about 100 knots here at about 400 millibars. So we've got a strong northwest flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere, sinking air, and that's compressing air, but it's very dry, and so that means that temperatures are going to soar into the mid and upper 80s across most of the region today with full sunshine. And there's a lot of volatility in the models, either the European GFS, the NAM model, on the placing of the pattern over the next couple of days into next week. We'll start out with the CMC model today, which shows high pressure over the forecast region, and that's going to mean a beautiful day today as we transition through the next 24 hours. A warm front is going to be situated just to our north and west on Thursday morning, and this disturbance here across the Great Lakes is going to move slowly east as low pressure at the center moves across New York State into southern New England. This is going to mean a batch of showers and thunderstorms could be moving through southern New York into northwestern New Jersey, the New York City area, but most of this precipitation appears in the modeling to remain north, where the greatest lift and the greatest instability will be on Thursday morning. Then we get warm sectored on Thursday afternoon, with temperatures running into the 90s, mid and upper 90s, and high dew points in the upper 60s and lower 70s, making for a very volatile day, with a thermal trough probably developing to the west of over the Appalachian Mountains on Thursday afternoon. And that's going to mean the next surface wave along this boundary coming out of the Great Lakes that we can see here on Friday morning translates as the trough begins to deepen, and this moves in our direction over the northeastern United States on Friday morning with a surface low that will be moving through the Philadelphia to New York City corridor on Friday evening and overnight into Friday night. That low pressure area develops that deep trough here across the New England states on Saturday morning, and a strong cold front with low pressure over New York State then swings through Saturday afternoon, with the upper trough swinging off to the East Coast on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. And then high pressure will build in control. Notice how the high that was over the forecast region is now shifted back towards the central and southern plains. And that's going to mean where the largest amounts of heat will be. And the CMC model continues with a trough of low pressure in the mean over the forecast region through early next week. Now, there's going to be disturbances. The next disturbance of low pressure will move out of the Great Lakes, according to this model, on Monday night and make it into the Ohio Valley and deepen across the region as it tries to cut off a little bit across the Mississippi and Ohio Valley during the day on Wednesday. And this is going to mean the flow at the surface is going to be from the south-southeast, and moisture eventually is going to get developed here. And this low develops into a cutoff low with a deep trough developing across the eastern United States as early as next Wednesday. And this is going to mean a large inflow between high pressure off the southern New England coast and low pressure developing across the Carolinas at the surface. This is going to mean that winds are going to be coming in from off the ocean, and low pressure will be developing across the Carolina coast. According to this model, what that means is that low pressure will then track up along the coast, and we could see periods of rain around here later next week, according to this model. And then the low pressure system moves north of the New York City metropolitan area by Thursday morning, so it could be a wet period on Wednesday and Wednesday night of next week. And then basically deep upper level trough continues with a cutoff low at the highest levels here across the eastern United States. And the forecast becomes a little bit more diffuse here and more difficult as high pressure continues to build offshore the Atlantic coast, while a cutoff low and upper trough remain in place across the Appalachians and across the Tennessee and Mississippi valleys for late next week. And this is going to mean a very volatile weather pattern across the region. Now, I am running a little late on time today, so I'm going to cut this short. Do be mindful that rip current risk is moderate today, and we're expecting clouds and rain, showers, and thunderstorms to increase across the forecast region Thursday morning, and then again Thursday night and Friday morning, and then again later on Friday and Friday night into Saturday morning. And the forecast is going to be have to dealt with on a day-to-day basis as we find these frontal boundaries and disturbances in the atmosphere along where the boundary is kind of diffuse. GardenStateWeather.com forecaster Robert Smith. I'll be back bright and early with you on Thursday for all the live information. It's available right on the website in real time. And enjoy your day. It's going to be a beautiful day to be at the beach or be outside today. Do be mindful the sun UV index is very high, and you could get burnt within minutes if you don't have protection on your skin. Be back bright and early with you on Thursday for the latest weather information 24/7. It's GardenStateWeather.com.